Spaghetti carbonara. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to make a traditional spaghetti. Delicious. Remember, if you like the channel, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to ring the bell. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you exactly how to make it. All right, friends, let me show you how easy it is to make this spaghetti carbonara. This is the traditional way to make the carbonara, not the way the French people would make it, okay? Remember, I'm half French, half Italian. I left the French outside today, okay? It's back in France. We're not going to do it the way my mom used to make it, okay? First thing we're going to do, we're going to cook some spaghetti, and I like the big spaghetti. Get the biggest one you can get. My mom used to call it spaghettoni. You can get this, or you can get the bucatini also. They're big. They're like, they got a hole in it. They're very nice. Put them in the water like this, okay? And don't be out there breaking them, okay? Just take your spaghetti and put them right in the water, and don't worry about it. Leave them alone, okay? That's it. Oh, in the water. All you got to do in the water, folks, is put salt. That's all I did. I put some salt earlier, okay? Don't be afraid to put salt. A lot of salt, my friend, in the water. That's all you need to do. Make sure your water is rolling boil. Put the water in there, and that's all you did. Don't be out there putting some oil in the water, okay? You need like they'll shoot you if you do that. Okay, so now, this is very simple, and you know, I hate to have a dirty stove. I got to have it all organized, eh? And matter of fact, I can't believe it. I don't even have a kitchen rag. I can't cook if my kitchen is not clean and organized. Mise en place, okay? Guanciale. This is the cheek of the pig. It's got a lot more flavor than the regular bacon. And regular bacon is smoked anyway. We don't use it to make this dish, okay? If you can get pancetta, which is cured bacon instead of being smoked, so it doesn't have the smoky flavor. Pancetta is okay, or guanciale, which is the cheek of the pork. And it's got a lot more flavor. A lot more porky. And it's got a lot of fat in it. So what we're doing, we're going to take the guanciale, we're going to put it in the pan. And like I said, if you don't have this, use pancetta. And if you don't have the pancetta, then use the bacon. Don't tell them I said so, okay? There was the Italian police. I got enough trouble with the Spanish police with my paella. Mamma mia, I don't know if you guys see that. But I made a paella recipe the way I make it in America for the last 30 years, 40 years. Okay, it's not the traditional paella. I knew that. But mamma mia, you should have heard them. I had the whole country of Spain after me. Anyway, we're going to have fun with this one. Okay, so guanciale is very, very fatty, very, very tasty. So we're going to cook it. We're going to do it slowly, my friends, because what I want is I want the fat to melt without bruising the delicate meat, the delicate lean part of it. So we're going to let it in the pan like that with nothing. And you don't put onion, you don't put nothing, okay? And what I want you to do when you get the guanciale, only with a guanciale you can get that. You can only get that in the Italian market. You got to remove the skin because the skin is very tough. You got to remove it, okay? Peel it off with a very fine knife, so you don't take too much of the fat, okay? So that is if you can get the guanciale. If you have the pancetta, you don't need to do anything. Pancetta, you don't need to do anything. See right here, it's starting to melt. You'll see in a minute, it's going to melt slowly. And then what we're going to do, we're going to make a cream. I can hear the Italian already. Oh, mamma mia, it's putting cream. No. The cream that we're going to make today is a little different. It's egg, pecorino romano, and Reggiano Parmigiano, Parmigiano Reggiano. And pecorino romano is very salty cheese, so we're not going to need to put any salt in there. No salt at all. And you'll see there's enough salt in there. And Parmigiano Reggiano, if you're going to use Parmesan, it's the only Parmesan to use. Eh? We're going to put those two in there. We're going to create what is called a cream. Now, the egg, there's a lot of politics around. Is it correct to put I'm looking for a fork. I think somebody's going to have to go give me a fork. Here we go. Thank you very much. I got a fork. Because what you want to do, my friends, you want to break the egg. Like you're about to make an omelet. Eh? You want to break the egg nicely. And then you're going to put your pecorino romano and your Reggiano Parmesan cheese. Except that was the different order, okay? All right? We're going to make that cream. That's what I call the cream right there. And then we're going to add a little bit of pasta water. And we're going to make a cream with this, okay? Make sure it's really, really well melted. Also, no, if you're going to use a real pecorino romano, believe me, you don't need a salt. Eh? You mix those two together, and the only thing you're going to add, my friends, is you're going to have a little, let me heat that up a little bit more. You're going to add some black pepper. That's all you're going to do. I had a very fresh black pepper. And this is the cream we're going to use, my friends. Let me tell you, this is very simple. Right? It's not difficult, okay? All we got to do now is wait for the fat to melt slightly. And it's just going to happen as soon as the stove gets going. It's going to happen. Let's check the pasta. Let's see how we're doing. Remember, the pasta, we don't do nothing. Eh? We don't do nothing at all. You see, we just let it go. The only thing you put in the water is the pasta. I don't understand if people put the oil in there. You know then the oil and the water don't mix. So what are you putting it in the oil in there for? It makes absolutely no sense. Salt is the only thing you do. And don't be breaking the pasta. You see the people that break the pasta. Don't break the pasta, okay? Put it in there. Leave it alone. Let's wait for the fat to melt. And it's going to take about a minute or two. So we're going to wait a little bit before we move forward. And what we're going to do, as soon as it's melt, we're going to take the cooked pasta. So we're going to wait for a second for the pasta to cook. And then as soon as the pasta is cooked, we're going to mix it in there with the fat of the guanciale already melted. Okay, so we'll be back in a couple of minutes when the pastas are ready. Pasta takes about 10 to 12 minutes, depends the brand you buy. And they take a little bit longer. We want them al dente, which means firm to the bite, but we don't want them undercooked. You know, sometimes you go to an Italian restaurant and you eat a pasta and it's raw. And the other day I went to this wonderful restaurant and I said, sorry, but the pasta is not cooked. And the waiter says, sir, it's called al dente. I said, well, call it whatever you want it, dude. I call it not cooked. It was raw. It was raw pasta. Al dente means to a bite, meaning you have to have a bite. You have to feel the pasta so it's not mushy. But for that purpose doesn't mean we have to overcook it. Okay, so this is still going, but I want the fat to melt before we go. Okay, so we're going to wait a few minutes for the pasta and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, friends, the pasta is cooked. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a little bit of the pork fat. I'm going to put it here. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take a little bit of that pork fat, friends, and we're going to put it on top of the pasta. All right? So now, we're good? All we're going to do now, we're going to get that pan. We're going to take a little bit of the pasta water, salty pasta water. We're going to put it in a pan. Very simple process, okay? Very simple process. Then we take a pasta. And we'll take the pasta out of the water. And don't worry about draining it, okay? Do not worry about draining it. Just take it. Put it right in the pan. Right in the pan. Don't worry about putting water in there. We like a little pasta water in there, okay? Put it right in there. Mix it up really good. You get back in there. All right? Let's cook this a little bit. So now at this point, friends, this is the crucial moment of making this into a wonderful... Did I forget some pasta in there? No? Oh, here you go. One. Now this is the crucial moment, my friends, is when you put the pasta in there. You put the cream, the egg, and the cheese, and you got to move it fast. If you don't move it fast, you're going to have scrambled eggs. Now, my mom would always say, it's okay if you have a little bit of the scrambled eggs in there, because it's kind of like the real traditional way of doing it. I don't really like for it too much. So you know what I do? I don't cook it too high. The heat right now is not very high at all. Otherwise, you will definitely get scrambled eggs. See, so my heat is really, really low right now. And this is really, really, really simple. This is how you make a beautiful creamy carbonara. And don't be afraid to put just a little bit more pasta water. I'd rather have a little more liquid. And this is the cream that we're talking about right there, friends. With all your beautiful cheese in there. Mix it up really nice. And voila. This right there, friends, is a beautiful carbonara. I like to put even maybe just a little bit more water. Just a little bit more. And this is really the beauty about making a cream out of the cheese and the egg. And we're going to take it right there, friends. We're going to take it right there. And right there. Right there. Right there, right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. We're going to take a little bit more pecorino romano at the end. Very simple, a little more pecorino romano right there, right at the end. And you know what I like to do? I like to take a couple of pieces of the guanciale, put it right there on top, organize it nice and pretty. And, oh, mamma mia, look at this. I say nice and pretty. And I grab another piece right there. Let me clean up my plate. Then I made a big mess out of it. And right there, my friends, you have yourself a little more pecorino romano. And right there, my friends, you have yourself a beautiful spaghetti carbonara. Very simple. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to ring the bell so you get a notification every Thursday when we do a new video. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Make the carbonara. It's fabulous. All right, friends, you know what? I almost forgot to put the little extra fat right there, just a little bit on top of it. Oh, it's delicious right there. Don't be afraid. And then we got to test it out to make sure it's good, friends. That's looking beautiful. Be careful now. Don't burn yourself. Like I say that, but I'm the one that burns myself all the time. You think it's going to be enough right there in my mouth? I can't speak anymore. Make this recipe, friends. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.